We shouldn't have gone to Buckthorne Manor. Everyone said it was cursed, but I never believed in that kind of thing. Carter, my best friend, thought the rumors were perfect fuel for his urban exploring YouTube channel. Haunted, cursed, forgotten, it's a goldmine for views, he had said. I wasn't so sure, but I went along with it. After all, I had explored plenty of creepy places before. What was one more? But Buckthorne was different. It felt wrong from the moment we arrived. The mansion was deep in the woods, far from town, sitting atop a crumbling hill in Vermont. The trees around it were dead, skeletal branches twisting around the sky like fingers clawing their way out of the earth. As we parked the car and walked up the path, I couldn't shake the feeling that the manor was alive, watching us. "Let's start in the basement," Carter said with a grin, adjusting his camera. "That's where the weirdest stuff usually is." I nodded, though every instinct I had screamed to turn around and leave. The rumors said Buckthorne wasn't just haunted. It was a place where people got lost. Not physically, but mentally. They'd wander inside and claim to wake up days later, disoriented and with no memory of what had happened. Others never woke up at all. We forced the rusted side door open, and the air inside hit me like a wall, stale, damp, and cold. The interior of the manor was what you'd expect from a place that had been abandoned for decades. Dust-covered furniture, peeling wallpaper, and an oppressive silence. Every creak of the floorboards echoed like a gunshot. Carter was in his element, filming everything with excited commentary. "This place is massive, guys. We're gonna hit the jackpot here. Who knows what we'll find?" I wasn't so optimistic. Something felt wrong, off, like the house was bending reality around us. I kept thinking I saw a movement out of the corner of my eye, shadows that weren't ours, shapes in the dust that shifted when I wasn't looking directly at them. We found the basement door tucked in a dark corner of the manor, almost hidden behind a crumbling bookshelf. It opened with a groan, revealing a staircase that spiraled down into darkness. The air grew colder the farther we descended, and the walls seemed to close in around us, as though the house itself was constricting. At the bottom, we found a long, narrow hallway lined with doors. They were all closed, thick wooden doors with intricate carvings. As we walked past them, I noticed the carvings weren't just decorative. They were symbols, strange and unfamiliar, twisting in shapes that made my eyes hurt if I looked too long. "This place is nuts," Carter whispered, his voice losing some of its natural bravado. "You feel that, right? Like something's not right?" Let's just be quick," I muttered, my skin prickling with unease. We opened one of the doors, stepping into a small room with a single chair in the center. The walls were covered in mirrors, but the reflections didn't make sense. I could see myself, but it wasn't quite me. My movements were delayed, and in the mirror, I wasn't holding a flashlight, though I clearly was. "That's unsettling," Carter said, backing out of the room quickly. The next room was worse. It was larger, and the walls were lined with old, faded portraits of people I didn't recognize, but as I shone my light over the paintings, I realized the eyes of the portraits were following us. Not just in that creepy optical illusion way, no. They were moving, shifting, watching. "Carter," I whispered, grabbing his arm, "we need to get out of here." But he wasn't listening. He was staring at something at the far wall, his eyes wide. I followed his gaze and froze. In the center of the wall was a door, smaller than the others. almost hidden beneath layers of dust. It wasn't there before, I was sure of it. Carter moved toward it, as if in a trance. "We have to go in there," he murmured. "No, we don't," I said, panic rising in my chest. "Let's just go. This place is messing with our heads." But Carter was already opening the door. Inside was a dark, empty room. No furniture, no windows, just an endless black void that seemed to swallow the light from our flashlights. Carter stepped inside, and as soon as he crossed the threshold, he collapsed. I screamed his name, rushing to him, but when I reached out, the door slammed shut behind me. The air grew thick, suffocating. I tried to shake Carter awake, but he wouldn't move. His eyes were open, staring blankly at the ceiling, and no matter how hard I yelled, he didn't respond. And then, the walls began to shift. They weren't just moving, they were folding in on themselves, warping, like I was trapped inside some kind of nightmare. The room stretched and twisted, and I felt myself being pulled into it, my vision blurring. The floor beneath me rippled like water, and suddenly I was falling, spiraling down into darkness. When I hit the ground, I was back in the manor. Or was I? The walls were the same. The furniture in the same place. The furniture in the same place. But something was wrong. Everything was sharper, clearer. Like I was hyper aware of every detail, yet nothing made sense. Time felt elastic. I couldn't tell how long I'd been there. Minutes, hours, days. I found Carter standing in front of one of the mirrors, his reflection staring back at him. But it wasn't him. His reflection smiled, an unsettling, knowing smile, and slowly raised a hand to wave at me, though Carter's real hand didn't move. "What is happening?" I whispered, backing away. Suddenly, the reflection of Carter stepped out of the mirror, its face twisting and warping into something grotesque, its smile widening unnaturally. I screamed, running, but every door I tried led back to the same room, the room with the chair and the shifting mirrors. I wasn't awake. I wasn't asleep. I was trapped in the dream beneath Buckthorne. That's when I realized the truth. Buckthorne wasn't just an abandoned manor. It was a place between dreams, a trap designed to pull people into their own subconscious nightmares. There was no waking up, no escape. I'm still here. Sometimes I see people come into the house, explorers like Carter and me. They wander through thinking they're awake, but they never leave. They stay, lost in their own minds, never realizing they've fallen asleep. If you're reading this, don't come to Buckthorne. Don't even think about it. Because once you enter, you're already dreaming, and you'll never wake up. Thanks so much for listening, guys. A quick shout out to my patrons: Kevin Kess, Sabiel Eclipse, 055555, Cormac Wells, Amara, Matthew Steiner, Cupcake Hips, Alonzo, Mr. Sankofa, Michael Milburn, Kozak, Icy Narrates, Jesse Hartley, Eric Cifuentes, Andreas Anderson London, Lawrence Wallen, Geek Sanctuary, Melissa Perez, and this guy. That is someone's actual username. I love that. Thanks again so much for watching, guys. If there's anything you would like me to pray for, I would love to know how I can be praying for you. I hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video.